Hey, what's up, everybody? Just getting ourselves going on here. Give a few moments for everybody to kind of log in. And I certainly had a little bit of a throwback as we were jumping on to do this. Should be getting connected in there. Look at that. Have the ability to like chat with you guys and see all the things that you write. I don't see that we're on yet, though. So I'm just checking here. Doesn't look like. Oh, there we are. Okay, looks like we are on there. So, hey, glad you guys are jumping on. Hey, what's up, Linda? How you doing? And so look at that. I can see even there on the chat off to the side. So as we're doing this, as you guys are jumping on, make sure you type in the comments because I can see them. Other people can see them on this particular one. It doesn't matter if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube watching. It'll work on both of them today because I'm in my home studio at the moment / office. And so you can watch on either one of those two things, and you can talk on either of them. You can type in either of them, and it should pop up here on the side. Oh, this side over here. And so thanks, Linda. I'm glad to see you. Also let you guys know, if you have a prayer request, drop those in the comments. I'm not very good at typing and talking at the same time. So, but if you have a prayer request, definitely drop that in. Hey, I just wanted to thank you guys so much for jumping on. I was saying earlier that feels a little bit like a throwback. A year ago, we were doing these every single Thursday, at least for several months, as we were just trying to keep you guys up to date on things that changed and stuff that happened. And so we had a major change this week. Our staff has been praying for several weeks about things, and so I wanted to share with you a major change that happened this week. Invite you guys to be praying with us about that change. Invite you to be excited about what it is. Give you kind of some of the rationale about why we did what we did. So if you didn't know, if you hadn't heard yet, we are going to one service starting this weekend, and we're going to be at 10:30. So we're going to keep the 10:30 service. The 9 o'clock is going to go away for a little while. So we hope that it'll come back in the future. But for right now, we're just going to go to one service at the 10:30 time frame. And just wanted to kind of walk you through. Now, some of you may just go, oh yeah, it totally makes sense. I get it. And you're totally just on board. Some other people, though, you may be like, well, I don't really understand why. And maybe you didn't even understand why we came back with two services to begin with on everything. So thought I would just give you an opportunity to kind of hear some of what we were doing, what we were thinking, and why. And so with that, when we got word from the school that we could come back in, one of the first things that we talked about was how do we safely come back into the school? How do we make sure that we're doing our best to follow some of the recommendations, whether we think that they're right or wrong, but we do our best to follow some of the recommendations of the CDC and other organizations that are out there. And how do we do this thing safely? So one of the big things that we came back with was like, listen, two services is good because it gives us the opportunity to spread people out a little bit. And I'm sure that you guys probably all realized that while that was good, and man, you guys did a great job. We didn't even, like, some churches I've heard like have like assigned services to people and stuff, and you guys just did a good job of like just naturally filling both of those two rooms. And it was so awesome to see that one service was not massively huger than the. That's a really terrible use of the English language right there. But one service was not massively larger than the other service. Generally speaking, they were pretty close to each other, which was pretty cool to watch that. So generally speaking, whatever it is that you saw in one service is kind of what we had in the other service, which that we kind of just had half of our church together at any one point in time. And that is okay. And there will be a day when we grow large enough, and listen, we'll just have to do that because we just won't have any other options because our space won't fit us, and we won't have enough chairs and all that sort of stuff. And man, I look forward to that day. But at this moment, we were doing it more just because of spreading people out. And so we thought we really and felt like it was really good for us to do that. And not only that, it was a good opportunity. Hey, Vital, it's great to see you. It was a good opportunity for us to grow some volunteers and grow some leaders. I think one of the things that I heard most from you guys as we were coming back in was just that need and desire to be in worship. And over and over again, Pastor Caleb and I, as we were talking with people, we just heard, man, I just really miss worshiping together as a body. I miss being a part of something. So I really look forward to the moment when we can be back together in the room, gathered all together. And we totally understood all of that. And that actually impacted us whenever we came back and said, hey, we're going to go to 2 services at the very beginning, was because we were just like, yeah, we want you to have the opportunity to do that. And we want you to be able to serve. And so we put forward this sort of idea of worship one, serve one. And it's huge. That's you should know this is going to be part of our culture. It was part of our culture before, but then we had a whole year of being off on stuff. But definitely was something that we felt like was really, really, really important. Hey, thank you so much, Elsa. Yeah, absolutely. That was the hardest part of online church, was not being able to be together in community. I totally agree with that. And so when we came back, we felt like that those couple of things, the opportunity for volunteers to be able to be in worship and to be a part of that and still be able to serve was huge on that. Thanks, Lorraine. I love it. Our church is better than your church. Listen, we have a great church. It's no doubt about that. And our church is just like a big, gigantic family that just loves everybody. And so, but we all understood that we wanted to be a part of worship. We wanted to be a part of that moment. And so coming back, we were like, hey, listen, 2 services wins for a little bit. It gives us a chance to spread out. It gives us a chance to sanitize between services on stuff. It gives us a chance to have volunteers that get an opportunity to worship. All of those things were just really, really good. And then we just watch. And I mean, you guys should know this, that our executive team meets weekly. We rehash the things that happen, what goes on, what we're hearing, what we're feeling, what we're seeing, what we think God is doing, all of those sorts of things. And for several weeks, we said, hey, how's 2 services working? What's going on? Are we burning out volunteers? Are we, is this still reaching? Is it what we need to be doing? And over the last several weeks, all of the COVID regulations and COVID numbers and all of that sort of stuff. And I know that's like a curse word in our church to say COVID, but we've watched as all of those things have kind of come back, and people are more excited to be with more people. And so our team talked this week. In fact, we not only took our executive team of myself, Jeanette, and Caleb, but we invited leaders from all the different areas inside of our church. So if you served somewhere, you had a leader that was a representative in this conversation. And we just threw it out and said, hey, listen, I threw it out and said, hey, listen, what would it look like if? How would it impact you if we were able to all get back together in a room? And over and over and over again, I heard from all the leaders of all of your different areas that you guys serve in was that, yes, we have been waiting for this moment to all be gathered back together in worship. And so, yeah, our TCE leaders are awesome, Lorraine. We have some of the best leaders that are in any church. I would take this team anywhere, and against any other team, by the way. And so all of those leaders were like, yeah, we think that it would be great. And we think it's a great time for us to move to one opportunity for us to put everybody in the room. And as long as chairs are not an issue, which for a little while they won't be. I mean, we're in a summer crowd. It's a little bit lighter. Our snowbirds have left for the summer, right? Some of our families, they travel. This is not opportunity or permission for you not to be there. But travel happens. This is the moment when people go see family because kids are out of school and all of those sorts of things. And so we understand all of that. And we're like, you know what? This is a great moment for us to just come back all of us all together. So starting this week, this Sunday, we're going to be one service, a 10:30 only service. We didn't go back to 10 o'clock. So we've been like, what? Why didn't we go back to 10 o'clock? Well, it was all about communication. We were trying to communicate and cause the least amount of stress for different people and different things that may or may not get the word out. And I was like, if we went to a 10 a.m. service on this switch, the person who shows up thinking that we had a 10:30 a.m. service, even though we may change all of our times online, we may all of this, it would just be difficult to communicate that, and we might miss somebody along the way. It's going to happen. And so with that, we're like, if somebody walks in for a 10:30 service and I'm just getting ready to preach and they've missed out on the opportunity for singing, for that praise and worship that we've had earlier, the opportunity for offering, the opportunity to hear some of the heart of our church through some of our host stuff, a lot of times people just won't even stay. Just to tell you, they don't come for me. I know you guys love me. I love you guys too. But that they want to be there for the entire service. And so if somebody walks in 30 minutes late, they're just going to go somewhere else, and we may or may not ever get them back. And so an opportunity for us to say, hey, listen, let's just stay at 10:30. So if somebody has seen that somewhere else, if they've seen that on our signs for the last several weeks, they still have a shot. And if somebody was to come at 9 a.m., they would show up. Hey, listen, we're just one service today. It's 10:30, and get to share that with them. All of our signs would be changed out this week. Facebook has been changed out already. The app is being updated. Lots of things for us to update on this time. But I really just wanted you guys to have a chance to hear the heart of that. And I love what Elsa said. She, by the way, if you don't know Elsa, she is the significant other for Noah Battles. He's going to be back this week. He led worship for us a couple of weeks ago. He'll be back worshiping with us this week with our entire band. We're so excited to have him there with the other band members. It's going to be a rocking good time. And we kick off this week our At the Movies series. It's going to be so good. You don't want to miss out on that. So, hey, that's really all I had. I haven't seen any prayer requests come through. Hey, Jeanette, it's good to see you. I haven't seen any prayer requests come through, but just want to make sure that everybody knew that we threw it out there another time, that we are moving to one service, and that's a 10:30 a.m. service. And we're so excited about being able to do that together, to worship together, to bring the whole family back together, minus those that are traveling. Don't be traveling this weekend. This is a good weekend. And by the way, next weekend, if you don't know already, is Father's Day weekend. And we've got some awesome stuff going for Father's Day. We've got a beef, well, it's not all beef jerky, but we've got a jerky bar. Don't be a jerk, dads. Come partake of that. I think it's got deer jerky and like some other like crazy flavored jerky stuff in there. And we've got an amazing gift for dads as well. You don't want to miss out on that next weekend. So next 2 weekends, make sure that you come. Hey, I see Lorraine has a prayer request. She said that there's a new family here. She said, and they're a friend of those that live here in Australia. The father and primary income had several surgeries, and coming this July, they're going to have to amputate his leg. Man, that's awful. And she said that there's just, she's just acknowledging there's just a ton of struggles on that, an amazing family on that. And so there'll be not only a prayer chain going for that. We're going to pray for them in just a moment, but there's a meal train that'll be coming on that. And so we'll be sending some information out about that, about how it is that you can jump in and help that family as they have that surgery and amputation of his leg. Speaking of those sort of big things, a huge praise. They're not on here right now, but some of you know the Brower family, and their daughter was in a horrible car accident several weeks ago and spent a while in the hospital, and she got to come home. And so we give God some glory for that. So excited about that, but still needs lots of prayers. Long road of recovery for her ahead of stuff. And so be praying for the Brower family as well. And so, so let's just pray. If you've got some other, you're jumping on right now, or if you've been watching for a few minutes, you've got another prayer request, drop that here in the comments. And we would love to be praying for you. Father, I just, man, I thank you. I thank you for just how good you are. God, it has been a long last 15, 16 months in our world with just watching a disease that has, God, it has claimed a lot of lives. And God, we're so thankful that inside of our church family, even though we know of those who were affected by this, but God, directly inside of our church family, we didn't see anybody who perished from this, and God, what a blessing that is. But I'm even more excited, God, just to see that we're in this moment now where we're beginning to get on the backside of all of that, and that now we can begin to gather for larger gatherings, and God, that we can come back together as one family to worship you and to bring glory and honor to your name. God, I pray for just a full room on Sunday, that we can all be there, seeing smiling faces that maybe we haven't seen in a few weeks or several weeks or maybe even several months. God, I pray for that. I pray for just to be a joyous reunion across that moment. And I pray for just the momentum that brings for our churches as we gather back together. God, I do pray for this family that Lorraine mentioned, that surgeries are tough. And when you end up in a situation where there's going to be an amputation, God, that's tough too. And nothing easy about that. And God, I do pray for the opportunity for us to come alongside of that family and just to love and to minister to them, and to just show them that, God, that we care in this moment, because we do care. God, I pray that our church would step up in that moment on loving on them. God, we do continue to just pray for the Brower family and just the things that are going on in their world. And God, so thankful that that her daughter is safe and alive and getting stronger every day. God, we pray for the long road that's ahead of them, just for encouragement, for patience, for endurance, for strength to fight through it, and just to strengthen her body. God, I do lift up, Linda just mentioned her son, Chad, and just the things that he struggles with. And so, Father, I lift that up to you. I pray over him specifically. And God, I don't have any power in and of myself to overcome those sort of addictions on things. But God, you do have the power to help us overcome those addictions. And so, God, I pray your power into his life and into his world. I pray that it would be something that would just powerfully overcome him. And God, as he walks down that road, God, I pray for people to be around him, to encourage him, to hold him accountable on stuff. And God, I pray for the drive that he's going to need inside to fight that battle. Doesn't have to win every day, but God, to win more days than he loses. God, I just continue to give you glory and honor for the things that you're doing here, for the stories of life change that I get to continue to be a part of. God, I look forward to Sunday as we start at the movies and just what it is that you have to share. We just give you all the glory and all of the honor in your name. Amen. Hey, I'm so glad you guys took 20 minutes of your afternoon to join me. I know some of you are probably watching this later. Drop a hi in here. We'd love to know it. Look forward to seeing you guys again this Sunday, 10:30 a.m. this Sunday. It's going to be a great day. And we're watching Remember the Titans. If you haven't picked that up on any of the other stuff that we've done, that's what it is that we're going to be watching. And man, I'm going to tell you, some of the clips that we have are fantastic. You don't want to miss out on this. And remember, we can't live stream it. The bots from Facebook and from YouTube will take that down, but we'll post it up middle of the week just as quickly as we can, so that those of you that would like to can watch that. We know not everybody can be with us every single week, and some of you like to just stay up on what it is that's going on. So hey, have a blessed week, and I'll see you guys soon.